Do a little rank 'em. The top 5 centers. We will start with you, Mr. Cousins.
The
Start
pressure,
with
the pressure. Number 5.
Yep.
I do things a little differently. When it comes to my list, I'm gonna pick guys that I feel, no matter what era they played in, they can play in any era. So this is my list at number 5. We're coming in with David Robinson.
What? Did you just change it?
Yeah.
David Robinson. Change it on the fly.
She took the graphic off. And at number 4.
I've been stressed out over this list. Number 5, David
sleep
Robinson.
last night?
No sleep.
What
no
happened?
sleep.
You looked at what you did do?
I felt like JJ Redick. I couldn't sleep over this shit, man.
Because you had
Excuse my
wilt.
language.
I mean, I was kind of rude that you left David out in the first place, but what changed?
Like I said, for me, I picked guys that I felt, no matter what era they played in, they can play in any era. They were still dominating whatever era they played in. So that's kind of how I went to this list. So David Robinson,
No argument.
5. Number 4 comes Nikola Jokic.
4. Okay.
4.
All right.
Number 3, Hakeem Olajuwon.
Okay.
Number 2, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. And number 1 big man of all time will be Shaquille O'Neal.
That's fair. That is fair.
Totally.
That's actually not a bad list.
And it's no knock to Bill Russell and Wilt. I'm sure it's some angry people out there after my list, but like I said, for me it's hard to put Wilt and Bill in there. No knock to their legend. They're absolutely legends. They're pioneers to this game. I appreciate everything they've done for the sport, but I just can't put 2 guys that played in the league when it was 6 teams. It's just not fair to the others.
By the way, that is a fair... I'd rather hear that than just putting them in there because you feel pressure like you're supposed to put them in.
Yeah, I'm okay with pressure. I'm okay with pressure.
I know, buddy. I know you are. Chandler, what do you think? Or Lou, what do you think?
Yeah, I like it. I mean, I think Shaq's the most dominant player, not even just center of all time. So I love that he's the number 1. Again, you can go with guys with crazier resumes from back in the day, but again, can they play in every era? Would they have the same success in every era? Who knows? But it's a good list.
I'm just laughing at the graphics department. Like, son of a mother.
I love that Lisa just
Keep you on your toes.
Lisa just yoked that off so quick.
Dang it.
Shit,
Nah,
that's not well.
you know what? I like this list, Boogie, and we agree. Sometimes we get pressured into adding guys that we didn't even see play. Maybe their games didn't translate here and there. I'm not going to start that argument, but I think this is a solid list for where you are.
I like it too. I'm
well
older than
done.
you guys.
Well
I didn't watch
done.
them play. That's okay. So that's
Thanks for the
everyone's
support,
feeling.
guys.
Yeah, everyone's feeling good.
So you got great centers, and you got what?
I got the best 6 men of all time.
Here we go.
Can't wait for this one.
Starting at number 5, I was going back and forth between J.R. Smith and Lamar Odom. I ended up landing on J.R. Smith at the number 5 spot. The way that he changed the game, went about it, put a bunch of points on the board. Lamar Odom went out and got a championship and won a ring in that 6-man position and was a champion. So I was back and forth on there. But number 5 lands J.R. Smith. At number 4, I got none other than Vinny the Microwave Johnson, Detroit Pistons legend. When you talk about somebody that put numbers on the board that was essential to a team's success, Vinny Johnson was that and a bag of chips. So I got him at number 4. Number 3, none other than Manu Ginobili.
Woo!
Now, see, Manu was a little tricky. He was the 6th man of the year, but he also would sub into the game so fast, he basically was a starter. Like, he would sub into a game at the 10-minute mark, 9.5, and play the rest of the quarter. Like, bro, you're a starter, but technically, he was a 6th man, but he was a world champion 4 times, if I'm not mistaken.
Amen,
Beadle?
sister. Yeah, he was also the deciding factor in the big Heat win in 14.
There we have it. And so for that reason, you were kind of a starter, bro. So you're at the number 3 spot.
Kind of a starter, bro.
Because that's where this argument starts getting tricky. It gets tricky with Manu because they count his rings opposed to Jamal and I's impact. So none other at number 2, Jamal Crawford. I put Jamal Crawford at number 2 because he and I had this conversation face to face, and he said it. He felt like I was the number 1 guy, and he put himself at 2. But
hell yeah.
But on the flip side of that, I've always said this as well because Jamal was so much more than a 6th man. Like, he had an opportunity to be a star. He had a chance to lead a team. Like, he really had a chance to spread his wings and become one of these guys, a Manu Ginobili type of guy. You know, something way bigger than what the 6th man of the year or 6th man of all time would be, but that's what he did. At number 1, I got to put myself simply because I got the records, I got the numbers, and that was something that I literally did for 15 out of the 17 years of my career.
Because you were never kind of a starter, bro.
I was never kind of a starter, bro. I only started.
Could have been. man.
I started 100 games out of the thousands that I played. So
Wow.
Because of that, hey, listen, I did a long stretch on the farm as a sixth man, and for those reasons, I put myself number one.
Anything stand out here that we have issue with, Boogie? Is there something missing? Do you like it?
I like the list. I just feel bad for my guy Lamar. I mean, it's a top 5, and I'm not mad at anybody on the list. When it comes to Lamar, what he brought to the Lakers, you know, the impact with a championship team, I think that can't go unnoticed. But this list is incredible. Everybody on here is more than deserving. It's a tough list. But,
good one.
I agree with the list. It's fire.
And I agree with number 1.
Oh, buddy. Look at that.
Look at us.
That is hearts all around.
Moment?
You know what, Chandler? I started
So you guys get a bunch of great players. Let me tell you who
but can I
got
say something,
hurt.
Chandler? Yours, I feel like, has room for, like, argument. Like, this is going to be
It's coming from someone that's been there before. Let's start off at number 5.
Careers cut short. Here we go.
All right, careers cut short is Parsons' topic of the day, which is highly offensive, but I'm very comfortable doing this. Number 5, I did Greg Oden. Now, here's the thing with him. These other guys on my list had good careers. They were just shortened. Greg Oden is kind of the what if. He's the mystery. He was such a great high school player, number 1 pick, consensus All-American. Like, at Ohio State, he was fantastic, although Florida gave him the absolute business in the national championship. He was supposed to be the next big thing, and it wasn't. So I just can't help but think how good he would have been if he didn't have that microfracture and all those surgeries early on. So I have him at number 4. Or number 5. Number 4, I got Yao Ming. This is someone that we had never seen someone with that kind of size, that kind of touch, and he still managed to have an 8-time All-Star, 2-time All-NBA second team, 3-time All-NBA third team. He still has this resume, and I still think without injuries, he could have been one of the greats. He could have been on Boogie's list if he stayed healthy. He was that good. So at number 4, I have Yao Ming. Number 3, being an Orlando guy, I had Penny Hardaway. He had so many great years, but he played 704 games over 15 seasons and was only 2-time All-NBA first team. No other accolades other than that, really. So I just feel like his career was always kind of shortened by injury. He missed a lot of time. I don't have Grant Hill on this list too, but like him as a Magic.
I was waiting for you to finish because I'm like, where is?
Yeah,
this one's tough category.
As a Magic fan, those two guys to me, they were always so good, and I thought they were going to be superstar level guys, and I feel like injuries kind of derailed that. So at number 2, this is a guy, he was one of my favorite players ever, Brandon Roy. He was on just this trajectory of literally being a face of the NBA type player. Was so cold-blooded. Highlights still. Go watch some Brandon Roy highlights if you forgot how good he was. Rookie of the Year, 2-time All-NBA, 3-time All-Star. And again, I feel like this guy, when he was playing, when he came in the league, he was going to be a 10-time All-Star, Hall of Fame type player. And obviously was derailed by injuries. And number 1, it's Derrick Rose to me. This guy was one of the most explosive, best PGs. And when you really look at his career, youngest NBA MVP of all time. 50-50 if he gets in the Hall of Fame, which would be crazy because he'd be the only MVP to not be in the Hall of Fame. But at the end of the day, 3-time All-Star, had 3 to 4 really good seasons. But besides that, he was just doomed with the injury bug. So he's the main guy that I was like, man, he should have been talked with, top 5 point guards of all time, and he's not just because of injuries.
Grant Hill was a big miss, bro.
Grant Hill was great,
but he played a long time.
I just think it's like Greg Oden never even played for me to like. I saw Grant Hill play when he played. He was great.
Years.
Guys like Greg Oden and Yao Ming, they were just different. Where they played and gave me a little tease that I didn't. I wanted more.
Who else is missing? I feel like this conversation is an hours-long bar debate because people start thinking of personal favorites.
Joel Embiid's one. Like, he was hurt early on. He still won MVP. Like, can he stay healthy? Like, if he was fully healthy, I feel like he'd be one of the greats. There's so many players where it's opportunity and injury has a lot to go into it. Everyone's talented, right? But without these guys in particular, I just feel like we're kind of doomed.
The Oden and the Roy
Zion could be on here. He's missed a lot of time. Like, there's so many crazy players that it's a short list.
Are we missing anyone? I can't. I know you wanted Grant Hill, but
yeah, that's the only one. That's the only one. Thankfully, it's only a handful of these guys.
That was a tough list, Chandler.
Yeah,
Very tough. Yeah.
Throw Chandler Parsons on there.
Honorable mention.
Kid was gonna be a stud.
You could be on. We're gonna take a quick break. Contenders or pretenders when we come back.